Okay. So we are going to use reaction curve approach, okay, in order to drive Coulomb model. Okay, and this is more powerful approach than the original version that we have. Okay, the reason that this is more powerful, okay, because here we don't have to consider identical cost condition. Okay, firm can have different cost condition or different market condition also. Okay, that can also be taken. Okay, under some condition we can take. We can renege the assumption. You can say we can renege the assumption of identical cost and identical demand also. Okay, and we can analyze the Coulomb equilibrium. Okay, that is why reaction curve approach is more powerful approach in order to understand this Coulomb equilibrium. Okay, and Coulomb equilibrium is called Nash equilibrium also. We have discussed that already. Okay, because each firm is doing the best. Okay, they can given what other firm is doing. Okay, in order to maximize their profit. Okay, in order to drive reaction curve, okay, Stekenberg has used the indifference curve approach. Okay, he has developed indifference curve approach that we known by the concept isotropic curve. Okay, what is isotropic curve? So you have output of firm A and firm B. Iso means equal profit curve. Okay, so isotropic curve is a no-cost of combination of output of firm A and firm B. Okay, that will give you same level of profit to firm A. Okay, I am talking about isotropic curve for firm A. Suppose. Okay, so what is isotropic curve for firm A? Isotropic curve for firm A is the no-cost of combination of output of firm A and firm B that will give same level of profit to firm A. Okay, and for firm A, your isotropic curve will be like this. Okay, this is profit isotropic curve for firm A. Okay, and you know, everybody knows why I have drawn like this, right? Anyone have issue here? You have issue. Okay. So when we are doing indifference curve analysis, okay, I have taught the technique to draw indifference curve analysis. Okay, so in the technique I have told you people, okay, that first thing do, okay, locate yourself at the worst position. Okay, so for worst position for firm A is what? It is producing no output, and firm B is producing maximum output. Draw indifference curve in such a way that it bends towards you. You are drawing indifference curve in such a way that it bends towards you, right? This one? Yes or no? So that you can push it to maximize satisfaction. So high indifference curve, you can push it and you will know that you are on high indifference curve. Okay? So here also I have used the same approach. Okay? So this is the way your indifference curve or isotropic curve will look like. Okay? So this is the isotropic curve for firm A. Okay? Suppose firm B decide to produce B1 unit of output. Okay? So when firm B is producing B1 unit of output, you draw a horizontal line from here, parallel to the x-axis. Okay? That measure output of firm A. Okay? So parallel to this horizontal line, okay, have 2 point interacting A and B. Okay? Where if firm A decide to produce say QA output or QB output, okay, its profit will remain same, that is phi. This is clear everyone? Because this is isotropic line. Okay? Okay. Yeah, I am saying that, okay, if firm 2 decide to produce say OB1 output, okay, draw a horizontal line from this output line. Okay, so in the profit line, isotropic line, you will see there is a 2 point interacting. Okay, in this isotropic line. Okay, so when you draw a parallel line, you will get output level OQA or OQB. Okay, so if firm A decide to produce say OQA output, profit will be the same pi A, or OQB profit will be the same pi B. Okay, so firm can choose any output to produce, profit will remain the same for the given output level of firm B. Okay, just a minute. for the given output level of firm A. Okay, but why firm B will stay at P1? It want to increase its output level if it can, right? Yes or no? There will be adjustment mechanism. Firm B will be keep increasing its output, say B1, B2, okay, up to point say BE, okay, the highest point on this isoprofit curve, okay. If firm B increase output to BE, okay, firm A can choose different combination, and at most this combination say Q E, okay, that will give it equal level of profit. In everyone? Yes, no? Okay. If firm B choose higher output, okay, say B4, then we will be having another isoprofit curve. Okay. In everyone, we will move to other isoprofit curve because in this profit of firm A is given. Okay. For any output of firm B, okay, whatever output firm A choose, okay, for if firm B choose say B1, okay, firm A can choose any this of two output, okay, its profit will remain same. Okay. If output of firm B exceeds this level, then isoprofit curve will be changing. Clear? Yes, no? This point is clear to everyone, right? Okay. So when we are drawing the reaction curve, okay, we will be taking the highest point on the isoprofit curve. Okay. We will be taking the highest point on the isoprofit curve, okay, and joining on this point we will be getting the reaction curve of firm A. Similarly, we will do for firm B. Okay. If I am drawing one more isoprofit curve here, so this one, say pi A2, which represent a higher isoprofit curve for firm A, black one or blue one? Why? No, black one. Here it has, you can look at this one. For the same output level, firm B can produce more. Or you can remember this graph that we have drawn. Locate yourself at the worst position, okay. You can push this to maximize your satisfaction, right? Higher indifference curve will be this side, right? To the lower position. Okay. So the lower one represent your what? The higher profit level for the firm A. Okay. Can you everyone? Okay. Because you will be having higher output for firm A at the lower this curve, okay, and no output for firm B. Okay. So what is isoprofit curve? Isoprofit curve, okay, you just have to remember the same definition, okay. Isoprofit curve is a locus of combination of output of firm A and firm B, okay, that gives equal level of profit to firm A, and it is denoted by pi A, you can say, and you have to draw this graph. Okay. Now I am going to draw now a reaction curve. Okay. So in order to draw reaction curve, just one minute. Okay, I will be taking output of firm A here and output of firm B here. Okay. So first thing I am going to draw reaction curve of firm A. Okay. So locate yourself at the worst position. Okay. Worst position for firm A, it is producing zero output. Firm B is producing maximum output. Okay. So your isoprofit curve will have shape like this. Okay. Where is the higher isoprofit curve? It will to the this side, right hand side. Okay. Is everyone? Yes. Okay. Okay. So I am drawing family of isoprofit curve. Okay. And I am taking the highest point of the isoprofit curve. Oh, you have to draw it here properly. The highest point, because of the highest point, isoprofit curve will shift, right? And joining on this locus of combination of highest point of successive isoprofit curve, I will get reaction curve of firm A. reaction curve of firm A is also called best response of firm A. Okay, best response of firm A. Okay, so it is a profit maximizing output. Okay, what is reaction curve? Reaction curve give us, okay, firm A profit maximizing output, okay, for given output of firm B. Profit maximizing output of firm A you can write, okay, for given output of firm B. Okay, this is the way we drive reaction curve for firm A. Similarly for firm B, when you will be driving, okay, you write quantity of A here, quantity of B here. Okay, so where is your worst position for B firm? It produces 0, A produces maximum. Okay, so you will be drawing your isopropyl curve like this. Okay, so joining occurs on this point, highest point. Okay, you will be drawing. Okay, take the highest point. Okay, take the highest point. You will drawing reaction curve of firm B. Okay, what reaction curve of firm B is saying? Okay, it is the profit maximizing output for firm B for the given output level of firm A. In everyone? Yes, no. Okay. We have done that. Okay, Coulomb model is stable equilibrium. Okay, the equilibrium that we are getting in the Coulomb model is a stable equilibrium. Okay, a stable equilibrium basically means that if we deviate from the equilibrium, we will get back to the equilibrium. Right? This is what stable equilibrium means. Okay. Here the condition for stable equilibrium is that, okay, the reaction curve of firm A, okay, must be steeper than the reaction curve of firm B for stable equilibrium. Okay, we will have Coulomb stable equilibrium when we are using the reaction curve. Okay, only when the reaction curve of firm A is steeper than the reaction curve of firm B. Okay, let me draw it. So this is a reaction curve of firm A. Okay, if I am drawing it steeper, reaction curve of firm B must be flatter. Okay, so reaction curve of firm A must be steeper than reaction curve of firm B. Okay, so this is reaction curve. I will be doing one example. Okay, I have done already in the class, but I will be doing one more example. Okay, I will be showing it. Okay, so this is reaction curve, best response of firm B. And this is reaction curve of best response of firm A. Okay, and this is our Coulomb equilibrium. This is output of firm A, equilibrium output of firm A. Okay, this is equilibrium output of firm B. Okay, now why this is stable equilibrium? Okay, let's look at that part. So everybody understand why for stable equilibrium what is the requirement? Yes, no. Everybody understand? Because if you are drawing, say this is reaction curve of firm A and this is for B. Okay, you check the analysis the way I am going to do now. Okay, you will not be finding it. Okay, there will be a deviation. Okay, that is why. So this is the equilibrium. Okay, suppose firm A decide to firm 1 or A, whatever you want to say, decide to produce no output than equilibrium output, say Q1. Okay, so if firm 1 produces Q1, okay, firm 2 will react according to its reaction curve. Yes or no? Okay, so if firm 1 is producing Q1, firm 2 will produce higher than the equilibrium output. Okay, let me put it, say Y1. Okay, then in the next period, okay, what firm A will do? Firm A will take this output as given, right, and produce it profit maximizing output according to its reaction curve. Yes or no? Yes, no. You people are getting it what I am saying. Okay, what I am saying is that suppose firm A is not producing this output, it is producing no output. We are not in equilibrium. A stable equilibrium means that if there is a deviation from this equilibrium, we will be coming to this equilibrium. Okay, that is what it means. Okay, suppose output is lower than the equilibrium output, say Q1. Okay, if firm 1 is producing Q1 output, okay, what is the best response for firm B? I will be knowing through best response curve. How I have derived the best response curve? Okay, through isopropy line. Okay, for the given output of firm A, okay, what output level that firm B will produce, that will maximize its profit, right? Yes or no? That is what is our best response curve, right? It is a locus of combination of on the isopropy curve, and we have taken the highest point. Okay, and I drive it. Okay. Now, if firm 1 decide to produce Q1, the best response for firm B, I will be knowing through its best response curve. So suppose, not suppose, it will be the case. Okay, when firm A will produce Q1, firm B will produce Y1. Yes or no? Okay. So when firm B is producing Y1 in the next period, okay, what will be the profit maximizing output for firm A? When firm B is producing Y1, I will be knowing through best response of firm A, right? Yes or no? If firm B is producing Y1, okay, remember the example that we have done. Okay, firm 1 is producing half output, firm 2 has taken this half output to be given and produced profit maximizing output, right? Then in the next period, firm 1 will take this output level as given. Okay, so this is the market share available to firm A. Okay, and it will produce half of it, right? Yes or no? So firm A will take this output level as given, say 1/4, whatever be the case. Okay, this output level as given. Okay, and will decide to produce output level that will maximize its profit, and that we will be knowing through its response function. Clear? Yes, no? Okay. Or you can look it in this way. Okay. Suppose firm B, okay, firm B decide to produce Y1 output. Okay. Clear? If firm B decide to produce Y1 output, what will be the best response for firm A? I will be knowing through best response curve of firm A, right? Yes or no? Okay. So firm A in the next period will respond by producing higher output, say Q2. Okay. So when firm A respond by producing higher output Q2, okay, what firm B will do? Firm B will respond according to its best response curve, okay, and produce no output than Y1, okay, say Y2. This process will continue until we reach this equilibrium. You can see we are moving towards equilibrium, right? Firm B is reducing its output, firm A is increasing its output. Okay, so if we start, okay, where firm 1 output is lower than the equilibrium output, we will be reaching the equilibrium. Similarly, if output level of firm A is higher than this one, okay, QA star, okay, it will be reaching to equilibrium. Okay, that is why, okay, Coulomb equilibrium is called stable equilibrium. And when we are using the best response curve, okay, the only condition that is required is that, okay, the only condition that is required is that your best response curve must be best response curve of firm A must be steeper than your firm B. Okay. So this equilibrium is called Coulomb Nash equilibrium. Yes. Okay. I am saying that, okay, if you start from any output level than the equilibrium output level, okay, if you start from the output level that is lower than your equilibrium output level, okay, or higher than the equilibrium output level, ultimately you will be reaching equilibrium output. Okay. Coulomb equilibrium will be stable equilibrium if your reaction curve of firm A is steeper than reaction curve of firm B. Okay. Now let's do one example. Okay. Then it will be clear. Picture will be clear. Okay? So this point is called Coulomb equilibrium. Okay. And it is a stable equilibrium. They can ask in the exam, okay, for 2 marks. Okay. What is the condition for a stable equilibrium in the Coulomb model? Okay. So you have to write, okay, the reaction curve of firm A must be steeper than the reaction curve of firm B for stable equilibrium. Okay, otherwise equilibrium will not be stable. Clear? For 2 marks they can ask. Okay, remember this point. And isoprofit and reaction curve. Okay, derivation from reaction curve they can ask also for the Coulomb-Morden. Okay, derive the Coulomb-Morden equilibrium condition using reaction curve for 5 marks. Okay, this question. And for isoprofit they can give in 2 marks also. Okay, so when you are driving the Coulomb-Morden using reaction curve, okay, you have to discuss about isoprofit curve also, reaction curve also. You have to drive the reaction curve from firm A and firm B, and you have to show the interaction point. Okay, remember this part. But generally, I suppose that they will give the original version. Okay, but recently what they are doing is that they are changing the pattern. Okay, and the way they are asking the question, they are setting differently. Okay, rather than the bookish type, they are putting little bit of application type. Okay, so do it, make the framework properly. Okay, so let's do one example. Okay, there are 2 firms. Okay, firm 1 and 2, and they are producing identical product. Okay, and the market demand condition is given as P equal to 130 minus Q. Okay, where Q is output of firm 1 and output of firm 2. Okay, in the reaction curve we no need to take the identical cost. Okay, but for simplicity I am taking the marginal cost and average cost to be same. Okay, so marginal cost is 10 for each firm. I running from 1 to 2. I have 2 firm. Okay, when marginal cost is constant, it means that fixed cost is 0. Okay, fixed cost is 0. This you people know, right? Okay, just check it. Okay, we have done this kind of analysis when we are doing the macroeconomics. Okay, APC equal to MC, MPC when CY is equal to 0. Okay, so the fixed component when it will be 0. Okay, then money average will be equal to marginal. When your marginal cost is constant, that means your fixed cost is 0. Okay, otherwise it cannot be constant. Okay, both cannot be same. Average cost cannot be same as marginal cost. Okay, so this is your output level. Okay, we have 2 firm. So profit of firm 1. What is profit formula? Total revenue minus total cost, right? Yes or no? I am doing only for firm 1 because of symmetry. Okay, firm 2 will be having the same equation. And what I am doing, I am driving best response curve of firm A or firm 1. Okay, so the equation that I will be getting, okay, Q1 of what is best response by definition, it is a profit maximizing output. Profit maximizing output of firm 1 for given output of firm 2. Okay, don't do it mechanically, understand the thing. Okay, so when I am driving it, I will take the output of firm 2 as given. That means it is constant. Okay, and I am maximizing the profit. Okay, that means I will put the first order condition equal to 0. Okay, what I will get will be your best response of firm 1. Okay, for maximization, first order condition must be 0 equal to 0. Okay, second order condition must be less than 0. We don't need to check second order condition, it already satisfied, it will satisfy. Okay, so we will only do with the first order condition. Okay, profit maximizing output. Okay, how we will maximize the profit? Okay, we will maximize the profit. Okay, by taking differentiation, then pi 1 over then q1. Right, keeping output of firm 2 constant. I am using partial derivative because we have 2 variables. Other variable I keep constant. Okay, so this I will be doing. First, let me write the equation. What will be total revenue? 130 minus Q1 plus Q2 in the bracket, then whole bracket. This is for firm 1. Then I write Q1. This is your price into quantity of 1 minus margin cost is 10. Total cost will be 10 into Q1. Okay, so this is your total cost, and this is your total revenue. Okay, now open up I have not done yet this one. I just write the equation for this one. Okay. So this will be 130 q1 minus q1 square. That is will be minus q1 q2 minus 10 q1. Okay. Now I am taking derivative with respect to q1. Okay. So look at this one. 130 q1. 130 is constant. Just write this one. Then q1 over then q1. It will be 1, right? Yes or no? Then write minus. See, q1 to the power 2. You are taking derivative with respect to q1. So whatever power you have, it will come in the front. q1 and minus 1. So 2 minus 1 will be 1. So I just writing q1. Okay. Minus q2 I have taken to be constant. Why? Because I am taking out profit maximizing output of firm 1 for given output of firm 2. So q2 is given. Okay, q2 I just write the way it is. Then q1 over then q1 will be 1. No need to write it. Minus 10. 10 is constant, just write it. Then q1 over then q1 is 1. 10 into 1 is 1 equal to 0. Okay. So I subtract this, okay, and arrange it. Okay. Take 2q1 this side. 2q1 equal to 120 minus q2. Okay. Therefore, q1 equal to 60 minus 0.5 q2. Okay. So this is a best response equation for firm 1. Okay. And by using the symmetry rule, okay, best response for equation for firm 2, because cost is same. Okay. They are producing identical product. I can write q2 equals 60 minus 0.5 q1. You can check it. Okay. You can drive the profit maximization condition for firm 2. It will be coming like this. This is a best response for firm 2. Yeah, this is for firm 2. This is for firm 1. This I have derived for firm 1 because output of firm 2 is taken as given. Okay. By definition, it is for firm 1. Okay. For firm 2, you will do the same derivation, but for profit 2, you have to write profit 2, and you have to take the output of firm 1 as given. Then you will maximize the profit of firm 2 for the output of firm 2. Okay. So you will get these two equations. Now I have to draw the graph of this one. I am loving this board. Now we have to draw the graph. I have done already, okay, in the class one time. Let's do it one more time, okay. So here you have output of firm 1 q1, output of firm 2 q2, okay. When q2 equal to 0, what will be the q1? When q2 equal to 0, what will be q1? For firm 1, look at this equation. When q2 equal to 0, how much will be q1? 60. q1 will be 60. Okay. When q1 equal to 0, how much will be q2? No, it will be 120. q1 will be 0. Yeah, for the first equation. When q1 equal to 0, then q2 will be 120. Okay. So this is your best response of firm 1. What is the definition of best response? Okay. It is a profit maximizing output level of firm 1 for the given output level of firm 2. Okay. As the firm 2 is changing its output level, okay, profit maximizing output level will change for firm 1. If you remember the isoprofit curve, okay. After a certain point, isoprofit curve also change, right? Similarly, do for this one. When q1 equal to 0, what will be q2? What will be q2? 60, and second point will be 120. Okay. Join these 2 points, you will get best response of firm 2. Okay. Now, This is what we have Coulomb equilibrium. Coulomb-Nash equilibrium. Better. Nash equilibrium by definition means that each firm is doing the best. That means each firm is producing the output that maximize its profit given the output of other firm. This is what Nash equilibrium means. And both firms do not have incentive to deviate from here. I have shown you that if firm 1 output is lower and firm 2 output is higher, then in the next period, firm 1 will respond by producing higher output, firm 2 will respond by producing no output according to their response function. Ultimately they will reach this equilibrium. So here we will be getting output level that we have to derive from response function. We have to solve this equation simultaneously. So I am finishing this Q2 equation here, this value here. Then I will getting the value of Q1. So Q1 equal to 60 minus 0.5. In place of Q2 I am writing this equation. That means I am solving both equations simultaneously. 60 minus 0.5 Q1. So this will be 60 minus 30 minus 0.025 Q1. Minus plus, this will be plus. Because minus plus. So you will be having Q1 minus 0.75 equal to 30. So Q1 equal to 30 over 0.75 40. So Q1 equal to 40. Finish the value of Q1 here. 40. So 40 into 0.5 is 20. So 60 minus 20, you will get Q2 also 40. Both are producing 40 unit of output. This is 40, this is 40. Can you everyone? So the Coulomb equilibrium output is how much? $80, right? 40 plus 40, 80. Yes or no? Can you everyone? Now, what will be the price? What will be the price? What is the price equation I have given? 130 minus Q, right? This is what I have given. Yeah, 130 minus Q. So price equilibrium quantity is 80. And the price is 130 minus 80. It will be 70. What will be the total revenue? We can take our total revenue individually also. 70 into 40 and 70 into 40. I am doing it together. So you have 70 into 80. How much? Oh, this is 50. Sorry, 50. 130 minus 80 is 50. So this will be 4,000. So both firm is making revenue of 2,000, right? If you do 40 into 50 is 2,000 and 40 into 50 2,000. Both firm is making revenue of 2,000. This is clear to everyone? Yes, no? Now, I have told you that in the Coulomb model, Nash equilibrium is a position, where you don't have incentive to deviate, but this equilibrium is not something that is maximizing industry profit, that is not maximizing industry profit. Consider a condition where both firms collide, and act like a monopoly, This is what Coulomb has finished the argument, Since each firm is naive, immature, they don't understand the interdependency aspect. They are producing output simultaneously and independently. This is important word. They are producing output independently and simultaneously. They are making the output decision to launch in the market at the same time, to send in the market at the same time, and they are making independent decision without realizing that they are interdependent. So they are maximizing their individual profit, but they are not maximizing industry profit. Okay. Now consider the case where they can collide. They understand the interdependency. They can collide. Okay. So you have price equation as 130 minus Q. This is your price. Okay. And your cost is 10. Okay. If you have one firm, say monopoly, that collide will become monopoly. The collision take place. Right collision. Okay. Both collide. Okay. So what will be the profit maximization condition? Am I equal to MC? Right? Yes or no? Am I equal to MC will be the condition, right? Profit maximization. Right? Am I equal to MC? Okay. What will be MR? Because both firm is deciding to produce together, I am just taking Q. Okay. Both firm will produce, okay, output Q together and divide half out. Okay. So total revenue will be price into quantity. So it will be 130 Q minus Q square. Marginal revenue will be 130 minus 2Q. This is your marginal revenue and marginal cost is 10. Am I equal to MC? Then do it. 130 minus 2Q equal to 10. This is MR, this is MC. So you will get Q equal 60. Okay. When both firm collide and decide to produce together, total production will be 60. Each firm will be producing 30 units of output. Okay. And what will be the price? Price will be 130 minus 60. Then it will be 70. And price charge will be 70. So they can charge higher price. Competition reduces the price. When firm compete, it reduces the price. Okay. When they are not competing, they are understanding the interdependency. They can charge the higher price and maximize the industry profit. Look at the total revenue. What will be total revenue? Price into quantity. Price is 70 and quantity is 60. It will be 4200. Higher than the case where you have firm is maximizing their individual profit. Okay. In the case of non-collusion, when firm are competing with each other, okay, they are maximizing their individual profit, but industry profit not get maximized. I am not taking cost condition you can subtract. Okay, it is same. You will make the same subtraction, but 200. So firm are maximizing their individual profit, but industry profit will not be maximized. Okay, the case where they understand the interdependency and collide, okay, and produce 30 unit of output, okay, they will be able to maximize industry profit as well as their individual profit. Here both are earning 2100, okay, revenue. Here both are earning money 2000 revenue. Okay, so this is what we have in the Kuhnert model. Now let me rub this part. Okay.